So, Mr. Dugin, what would you say are the most important questions or challenges that are facing the millennial generation today, particularly within the Western world?
I think that we're living in the most important time of all humanity. So that is the chance, privilege, but at the same time that is the risk, because precisely now the destiny of mankind is somehow put under question. With artificial intelligence, post-humanism, and the latest development of liberal ideology that became a kind of global paradigm, the very nature of human being is put under question. So millennials could be the last human generation, represent the kind of the last man and last women, because the singularity movement we are approaching to singularity, as post-humanists call that, is precisely the moment when the strong artificial intelligence will be capable to perform all the tasks that human being is performing. So there is a kind, we are approaching to the second wave of replacement. There is the first replacement by refugees and immigrants of the traditional population of the Western country, not only Western, because this wave of the immigration as well threatens the other societies, not only Western one. But the second wave of replacement will be replacement of the immigrants by the robots. So millennials maybe are the last generations when their free judgments and free decision is and will still possible. After that, there will be kind of mechanical destiny, because the destiny of civilization will pass slowly and almost unremarked to unnoticed to the next kind of next type of being.
Well, our problems are much greater than I could have imagined.
Where do you believe that modern conservatism in the U.S. is headed? Do you think there's any hope for a sustainable right-wing movement in America?
I have changed almost completely my understanding of what American society is after the campaign of Trump. Not because of his victory, but that was as well very, very important, but because of the bold decision of majority of American citizens to support the agenda promoted by the Trump. It's much more, that is the problem of Trumpism, much more than of Trump personally, because now Trump shows the limitations and the limits of his capacities. I think that he's hijacked already or taken as a hostage by the deep state and the liberal elite globalists. But nevertheless, there was a completely new entity that appeared during this campaign, American people, and people from the populism. So populism, the term populism, is derived from people, populus. And I think this populus, the real people, real unengaged people, unbiased people with its free will and its capacity to take decision, appeared on the scene of American society. And that was the great astonishment, surprise, and the hope for myself, because I don't think that only conservatives voted for Trump. I think the people they were the last human being in the United States that voted for Trump, because the other part, the other half, is preparing to be transformed in something different, some post-human beings, because the image, the very image of Hillary Clinton was a kind of post-human horizon, I would say. So that was an anthropological battle, and American people, American human being have won these people. So I think that is the great hope for conservative movement in the United States, to at least to start the real battle for the future, for the identity, for the society, for the values. But it is obviously that there are many traps in this way, because precisely new conservative should be different. So it should take in consideration many aspects that traditional conservatism ignored. For example, I suggest to search postmodernism, because there is a critic of modernity that is very important. Traditionalism that was ignored in traditional conservatism, traditionalism of Evola Guénon, with deep criticism of the very principle of modern Western civilization in any senses. I suggest as well the study of anthropology, of sociology. So many fields that traditionally was regarded as left, for example. But if conservative shouldn't be traditionally right. It should be, I presume, the new conservatism should be completely different. It should take the traditional principles of Western civilization, the foundations of it, and put it in completely new context. And that is the great challenge. So the great challenge, and I think that in that sense, American conservatives, new conservatives, should discover the great heritage, intellectual heritage of European culture, as well as Eastern culture, of Russian culture, of Indian culture, Iranian culture, because now there's not enough to defend what we have. Because traditional conservatives, they defend the yesterday in front of today, and that is not enough today, because they win more and more. Our opponents, the progressists, the liberals, they are winning more and more, and we are defending now what we blamed yesterday. So that is a kind of one-way game in favor of them. So we need not only conservatism, we need conservative revolution. We should return to the roots of our identity. We should rediscover European logos, a kind of the axis of our spiritual tradition. And we should be bold, we should be, and we should overcome the limitations. For example, xenophobia, racism, on any kind of hierarchy between the people. There is not such kind, there are differences. And we need to insist on these differences without creating a hierarchy. We should not repeat the errors of the past.